So welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. Now, the purpose of this lecture series is twofold. It's very simple. One, we want you to revise your current affairs if you have already read them or covered them. Two is that we want you to revise those current affairs through the much needed MCQ practice, because MCQ practice is very important if you are serious about stage 1 of your civil services examination, and that is prelims, because prelims is all about MCQs. And current affairs form a very big portion of your prelims examination, though they form a very big portion of your mains examination also. But in mains, we write subjective answers, it's not MCQs. So, to cover a very significant portion of your prelims examination through MCQ practice is very important. Okay, so we are going to be covering current affairs through MCQ practice on a daily basis. Now, 4 to 5 MCQs might seem little right now, but these 4 to 5 MCQs would add up on a daily basis. They would add up to 1200 MCQs. Okay, so it might seem a little effort, it might seem very little effort. 5 MCQs, what is that? But these 5 MCQs would add up on a daily basis, add up, and would add up to 1200 MCQs. So you wouldn't have to worry about your current affairs portion when you're ready for your next year's prelims examination. So make sure you make this lecture series a part of your daily routine, because that would really serve you well. All right? Okay. Enough of the introduction. Now let's straight away jump into the lecture with question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding Chagos archipelago. It is currently part of British Indian Ocean Territory. The famous military base of Diego Garcia lies in these islands. Recently, the UK has decided to cede sovereignty of Chagos Islands to Mauritius, except Diego Garcia. Okay, now listen. Mauritius is a group of islands in the Indian Ocean. Okay, and they were a British colony once upon a time. But they got their independence in 1968. Okay, so Mauritius became a sovereign independent nation. But one of their territories was kept with the British government. So British gave independence to Mauritius but kept control of one particular group of islands called Chagos Islands or Chagos Archipelago. Okay? Now, since 1968, Mauritius has been saying that Chagos belongs to us and therefore the British should return this island territory to us. But the problem is that British consider these group of islands as strategically important. Okay, they want a strategic presence in the Indian Ocean and they think Chagos Islands would provide them that. Okay, plus Chagos is a group of 58 islands. One of those islands is called Diego Garcia, which is a military base used by USA and UK. So the Britishers and the Americans never wanted to lose that military base because that base gives them a strategic presence in Indian Ocean. Okay, now till 2023 or till 2024 also, October 2024, Chagos Islands was part of British Indian Ocean Territory. Absolutely correct. Okay, and the famous military base of Diego Garcia lies in these islands. That is also correct. But in 2024, the British government decided to give sovereignty of Chagos Islands to Mauritius. So British have decided to give Chagos back to Mauritius except Diego Garcia. They will keep Diego Garcia because it has a military base over there. Okay, so this part is also correct. All three statements are correct. All right, question number 2. Which of the following statements are correct regarding edible oils in India, vegetable oils? India is the largest consumer and importer of edible oils in the world. Majority edible oil imports for India consist of soybean oil. Most of India's palm oil is sourced from countries like Malaysia and Indonesia. Now listen, edible oils are used for cooking and for making processed food like biscuit, chips that we buy from the market. They all use edible oils as ingredients. Okay, now India is the largest consumer of edible oils in the world, but India does not produce enough edible oil to satiate its own consumption level. Okay, so India is the largest consumer, but India does not produce enough edible oil. So what happens? To satiate its consumption demands, India has to import and import a lot. So India is the number one importer, number one consumer of edible oils in the world. That is true. Now, majority of edible oil imports for India consist of soybean oil. No. In fact, the majority of oil, more than 50% of edible oil that India imports consists of palm oil. Okay, and this palm oil India gets from countries like Malaysia and Indonesia. Okay, India buys soybean oil or imports soybean oil from Brazil and Argentina. India also imports sunflower oil, but India imports sunflower oil from Russia and Ukraine. But majority of India's imports are of palm oil, and palm oil India gets from Malaysia and Indonesia. So 1 and 3. All right. Question number 3. Consider the following statements regarding classical language status in India. Sanskrit was the first language to be declared classical language by Government of India. Until 2023, Tamil, Sanskrit, Kannada had the status of classical languages. Okay. Now, look, the concept of classical languages started in 2004. Okay. Government of India decided, in fact, Ministry of Culture decided that it wants to give certain languages of India the status of classical languages. Okay. And Tamil was the first language to be given that status. Tamil was given that status in 2004. So it's not Sanskrit, it's Tamil. After Tamil, Sanskrit got that status. Then Kannada got that status. Then Telugu got that status. Then Malayalam. And then Odia. So till 2023, there were 6 languages that had the status of classical languages. Okay, not 3, 6. So this part is also false. But in 2024, October 2024, Government of India decided to award classical language status to 5 more languages. These 5 more languages are Marathi, Bengali, Assamese, Pali, and Prakrit. So now 5 more languages have this status. Okay, but until 2023, it was 6 languages. The first one was Tamil. So both statements are incorrect. Neither one nor two. All right. Question number 4. Which of the following statements is correct regarding National Supercomputing Mission? So it was launched in 2015 with a budgetary outlay of 4,500 crores. These computers are to be part of National Knowledge Grid. Center for Development of Advanced Computing and Indian Institute of Science are the implementing agencies. Okay. Look, National Supercomputing Mission was launched so that India produces its own supercomputers. Supercomputers are very important if you want to conduct path-breaking research, development, innovation, and various scientific studies. The country which has the largest number of supercomputers has a big advantage in terms of research and development and innovation. Now, India was dependent on imports for these supercomputers. That is why in 2015, India launched National Supercomputing Mission to produce its own supercomputers. And the overall budgetary outlay of this mission was 4,500 crores. So this part is correct. Now, these supercomputers that would be made under National Supercomputing Mission would be placed in different research and development institutes and educational institutes of India, and they would be connected to each other through a grid called National Supercomputing Grid. And that grid would be on National Knowledge Grid. So this part is also correct. Now, which agencies would be the implementing agencies for NSM? CDEC and IISC. Absolutely correct. So all 3 are correct. All right. And last, question number 5. Consider the following statements regarding significance of West Asia for India. There are about 90 lakh Indian expatriates in West Asian region. Around 80% of India's oil supplies come from this region. Both statements are correct, to be honest. 90 lakh Indians do live in West Asia, Middle East, Gulf region, and 80% of India's crude oil comes from this region. So this is also correct, this is also correct, both are correct. Okay? And that's about it. With that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I hope it has added value to your preparation. But it would add more value if you revise this lecture also. And you can revise this lecture by downloading the PDF for this lecture, because that PDF file would contain detailed solutions of the questions discussed in this lecture. Now, where can you download this PDF file? You can download it from our Telegram channel. And where is this Telegram channel of ours? Well, under this video, there is this comment section where I would provide a link to our Telegram channel. All you have to do is click on that link, go to our Telegram channel, and follow it and download the PDF for not just this lecture, but all the other lectures featuring on our YouTube channel. All right? On that note, I'll be signing off. Thank you so much, everyone.